Alrighty, I'm going to drop two videos today actually. They're on related themes yet unrelated in a strange kind of way. First one's about all the armour buffs which are going on and not despairing about driving light tanks and dealing with well-hard things that are well-hard. And the second is just about the flip side of it, which is if you have a well-hard tank, and no more so than the Löwe, it has so many things going for it in terms of heavy tanking, principally though, you know, a rake load of armour, very accurate gun and really exceptional reload time. And again, back to ratings and the proliferation of OP heavies. And I wouldn't put the Löwe in the OP category, but I would put it in the extremely good category, is the YOLOing that occurs. You know, so someone will buy an Object 268U thing, or they'll buy a Glacial, or they'll buy a Löwe, or a number of premium tanks, which is fair enough, right? I mean, tier 8 generally, and indeed in ratings, is really all about credits. I mean, I call the Löwe the bank, for God's sake. It is the bank. If I need credits, I'm getting this thing, and it's going to earn me a lot of credits. But the focus of the video is the fact that Blitz is a game played over 7 minutes, and I was playing this damn thing in a game, and I was the last one left alive against 6, I think. It may even have been 7. And the mediums and lights had all buggered off around the map and just died in a big pile, you know, in exact contrast to the way they should be played. Just drove into a big load of heavies and tank destroyers and got wiped. And I had a very good player basically contact me after the game, and he ripped me a new one. He was just raging about, you know, my lack of activity. I basically done my hit pool in damage, you know, and I couldn't do much else. And I said to him, well, what do you want me to do, mate? I mean, I had 6 or 7 on my own, and what do you want? And he said, well, ratings battles are over and decided in the first 3 minutes. If you can't decide what you're going to do and where you're going to go, and you haven't done your damage in 3 minutes flat, then you're crap, and a number of other, you know, expletives and references to my mother and no, okay, right, fine. The reason I made this video is that I'm afraid I disagree, and I will continue to disagree with this. Merely YOLOing your light or medium tank at the red team in a straight line at the beginning of the game and just iron fisting everything and doing that is one way to win games. Don't misunderstand me. But I guess I come from the older school of Blitz, whereby I'm not going to do that, and that's why I'm kind of showing this game. This is more how I'm going to play my heavy tank. I don't mind being tip of the spear or whatever, but if you look at the composition of this entire game, there's some nasty TDs and it's mainly heavy tanks. Very few mediums. There's very little opportunity for anything to bother me by getting round the side or round the back of me. So therefore I'm going to spend the majority of the game on the heavy side of the map, hull down, waiting for shots. I know this tiger's going to come forward here, and I know he's going to clear that guy there in the middle, but there's nothing I can do for him, to be quite honest. I can side scrape and I can angle here, but he's going to die, just like the Tiger P, who yellowed into the middle and decided that it was time to do the IS-5. He was going to die as well. There's a flaming Scorpion G with a nasty gun sat on a hill. He was always going to get wiped. The CDC who went out onto the top of Castilla did the right thing. He spotted up the opposition, but he did the typical thing, which is just to stay there. He didn't relocate, he didn't move, he got wiped out. You know, and that's what the majority of the team's done. I don't know whether it's overconfidence or whether it's lack of patience. Don't get me wrong, someone's got to be tip of the spear, someone's got to get out there and all the rest of it. But the whole thing is, you can't do damage in the garage. And I'm sorry if the meta of the game is now, well, it all needs to be over in 3 minutes, but I ain't getting on that wagon, boys and girls. That's not the way I want to play this game. And it's not about not supporting the team, and it's not about, oh, I don't really care about my damage, so I want to stay in the game a really long time, and I don't really care if the team win or lose, I just want to do my damage, look at my damage. It's not that. I don't particularly have a high average damage. You can look at my profile, I play all sorts of tanks, don't I? That's not a thing. But I do believe, like all things in life, you got to still be in it to win it, and getting out early on in the game ain't going to do it for you. You've got to have some patience. And that's pretty much what I've done this game. I started down at the back, I hold down, I looked at the threats. The IS-5 was probably the only threat doing his crazy percentage YOLO play in the middle. I had no meds or lights behind me or to the side of me. I knew the Scorpion G was at the back. I just made sure that he didn't spank me from the back. And I just waited for the time to move. And the game's over. That's a fairly average 3k game. But my point is, I ain't going to do that if I'm dead in the first 3 minutes in the garage. So I guess, I know it's a tablet-based game, but just give some consideration to the fact that it is 7 minutes long and trying to stay in it longer. Anyway, hope that was food for thought. See ya. Bye.